Let's talk a little bit about spirits, how good they are, because in the first beginner's guide that I did, I wasn't talking about spirits a lot, and eventually you will have the money to be able to buy yourself multiple spins, and I'm gonna go over a few of them, which ones are good, which ones you should like keep your eyes out, and which ones are not so much worth talking about. In the beginning, you will have Shadow, or generic. These ones are okay. They are okay. They are not good. They're not bad. I mean, they're more likely bad. If you would have to choose between these two, I'm not really sure. I would probably go with generic because you have a little bit of speed in there, a little bit of defense, a little bit of stamina, a little bit of attack. If you get into Templar, which is interesting because you have to read the text here as well, it actually gives you more defense. So it's going to give you 25% defense plus already a 5-star on defense. So that would obviously make sense. This is like a poor man's choice if you want to do a defense build. But I'm going to tell you one thing. If you want to really do a defense build, Unbreakable is going to be the best one to use because it increases your defense by 125%. If you want to, in the end game, run defense builds, it makes no sense without Unbreakable. It makes no sense. So yeah, Unbreakable, really important. Anyways, like I said, if you're below that, if you're like level 500, 600, and you're like, oh yeah, you know what, I want to use Titans, for example, you can use this spirit as well. You can use Templar. It's not the best, but it's certainly going to push you to where you want to go. So this one's good for defense. Let's talk about Zimba. Reduces all skill cooldowns by 10%, which is kind of whack. Defense, stamina, speed. I wouldn't use it. If you get it and you want to roll it with a defense bay or something, you could use it, but it's not ideal. I would skip Zimba, to be honest. It's not really that good. Then we get to the 5% ones, which is a little bit more interesting. Then we have Miyamoto, which is your blade will deal some pierce damage anytime it comes into direct contact with another blade. Pierce damage ignores defense. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Usable for STR, spider builds. You can use this with Atronator. You can use this with Hellcats. Anything that has strong STR stats, you can use Miyamoto, but yeah. Anyways, then we have Jester. Jester is like, it's funky. Your blade will give the confusion effect to any blade that attacks you for a few seconds, causing flipped controls. I don't know. I see this as like the ultimate troll one, but in general, kinda trash, kinda whack. So I don't necessarily recommend you using it unless you want to do something really super, super trolly PvP kind of situation, I guess. But yeah, Jester's not really useful. Then we have the Demon, which is a very controversial one. It increases your critical chance by 25% and your pierce by 30. Interesting. However, you will lose 1% of your health per second, which means in 100 seconds you will be dead. Now, I don't know, if you are using a bay that it has like this glass cannon one-shot situation, then you can use it. Otherwise, I would say pass. Ignores 30% of the target's highest stat. Judge, kind of good though. Kind of the upgrade of generic, right? If you look at it, it has like a 3.5 ones, and this one has 2.5 ones. Could be made viable in the beginning, but later on, pass. Oh, my hair is going wild again. Buddha. Your blade will never stop spinning and also slowly regenerate stamina passively, which has health regeneration. Definitely viable. You can use it as well. If you can't get into the legendaries and you just suddenly have Buddha and you want to use it for a stamina bay, something you could think about. Not bad. Not bad. Then we have the Dryad. It possesses thorns that reflect some damage received back to the attacker is okay, but it actually has a 4.5-star stamina and defense. So if you're building something really specific with defense and stamina, I think you can make it work. But again, for me personally, in the end game, I would say pass. But if you are in the early to mid game, could use it. Could use it. I wouldn't say no. Then we have the Dragon. Yeah, interesting one. Your blade will convert some damage it dealt into stamina. This effect will not apply in other blades that also possesses the Dragon Spirit. That means if you have multiple ones, it will only apply to one. which is interesting. I think I used Dragon for a long time with my Stamina Angels build. So yeah, viable, good, really good actually. Then we have Glass. Your attack is raised by 100%, but your defense is reduced by 150%. So people use this for Dragon Strike, for example. Dragon Strike fragment builds that you can basically use in any strength. Dragon Strike is a move that you can do where you go up into the sky, which kind of gives you sort of an iframe, and then it hits you down, and then you're gonna do this one-shot kind of thingy. And this is why it's called Glass, because you are a glass cannon with that as well. You do a lot of damage, but you can die very fast as well. So if you want to go for that kind of build, I mean, it's really good for like battle tower stuff. Yeah, go for it. Then we have Wizard. Increases all of your skill damage by 30%, but the skills are kind of whack. I don't recommend it. If this thing had like 4 stars or 5 stars somewhere, I would say interesting, to say the least. Interesting, but I don't know. Alright, Saint. All nearby Beyblades will have 20% longer cooldowns. Additionally, you will take 25% less damage from skills. Stat line, though, pretty good. Gotta say, pretty good. Additionally, you take 25% less damage from skills. Not bad, especially if you run a defense build. You have a 4.5 stars on it. You have stamina on it as well. So, not bad. Not bad at all. So, you can make Saint very, useful. And then we have the 2 best ones, obviously. We have Monarch, which I'm using right now. Yeah, you possess no weakness. You're nothing but strength. The 1 Monarch. Increases your attack by 85% and stamina by 40%. This is huge. I personally would say this is probably the most used skill in the end game. Spirit, sorry. It's so good. Monarch is good. It's really, really good. So if you, by any chance, in the early game or mid game, decide to use some free spins or something that you got from a code and you draw Monarch, keep it. No matter what, you can always build a really good bay around this. You can always do it because it increases your attack by 85 and your stamina by 40%. Hellcat comes to mind. It's so good because the synergy between stamina and strength are there. And then we have Unbreakable. Already talked a bit about it. It increases your blade defense by 125%, which is so strong. But sadly, only usable for defense. You don't have to use this with any other build. Just use it for defense base. Okay, some of them are Spectre, Titans, you know, these kind of ones. I think it was Hydra. I don't know if you can use Hydra. But yeah, just so good. Really, really good for defense. If you want to have an endgame one again, if you roll one of these 2 in your early to mid game, keep it and level another bay. Just keep it, or level the same bay, whatever, but keep it. They're just so good, very rare to come by. And that's basically my tutorial for basically like spirits and the beginnings and stuff of it. I think I'm gonna cut the video a little bit and just upload the spirits part. So the video is not gonna be like 16 minutes long. But yeah, that's my basic beginner guide to spirits, which ones to use, which ones to keep. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.